All right, we're trying to log on to FetLife. We've been trying to log on for a couple of days now. You get 3 opportunities to get your password reset. They keep getting sent to this specific number. We're going to post it online because I don't think it's a legitimate number. It's based out of Edmonton, Alberta. But I do think FetLife's based out of Canada. I think I remember that shit. But everything's changed in the last 4 years since I've been targeted. So I keep changing the password. I know what the fucking password is. It's not accepting it. It did this yesterday too. So it's like, this is the remote neural manipulation of the Internet of Things, because they're basically controlling the entire signals that are going around, like all the electromagnetic spectrum signals, the Wi-Fi, everything. They are backdooring my phone through GPU and CPU entrainment with the frequencies. So yeah, I don't know. V2K keeps telling me you got to do all this shit on fucking FetLife. It's like, okay, fine. But then they won't let me into FetLife. And it's like, I'll tell you what the password is, and maybe you can log in. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. It's like fucking ridiculous. It's like targeted individuals get fucked with so fucking hard. It's like, I'm just following their fucking orders, right? And then they fuck with me. So it's like, you fucking dumb, skanky bitches. See, they don't want to take accountability or responsibility for what they've been doing, despite the fact that they are accountable and responsible and liable. But that's a whole nother conversation. So that's not just the only one, though. They do this to my Gmail accounts. They do this to almost every site I have a fucking password for. So it's like, every time I change my password, which is like almost daily, I write it down. I change it and I write it down in a book, so I know what it is. Next time I go to log in, like the next fucking day, it doesn't work. I have to reset it. Why doesn't it work? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I have a bidirectional stream to my fucking phone, and they're somehow mirroring it, and they're also using mind control technology, so they're reading my brain frequencies, and they're separating the frequencies and reconstructing them into thoughts and emotions and visuals and audio. So to explain this, nobody is safe with passwords. Passwords are not safe. Because when you type in a password, you think in your head, okay, pink pop, P-I-N-K. While you type it in, P-I-N, you're like, it's like going through your mind. That's what's rolling through your mind. Every fucking letter. Capital P-I-N-K, capital P-O-P, maybe a squiggly line, underscore. Well, they're fucking picking up on that shit. They know what your password is now, so they go in and they fuck with it. Or they're directing you to a shadow site, which is just a copied version of the actual website that they can manipulate and fuck with for no other reason than just to fucking psychologically fuck with you and make your life harder than it has to be. That's what they do. That's what the shadow government does. This is a federal government program. It's carried out by the CIA in the United States of America. Snowden said it was NSA DOD, but it's not. It's actually the CIA, because the CIA is literally the devil. So that's how it works. They run like the pedo rings in the fucking USA. They run the porn industry. They run everything. It's like, holy fuck. They're like the sickest fucking bastards in the world. They're the shadow government. They're who controls the USA. They manufacture everything. They manufacture all these problems. They can fix them, but they don't. They manufacture them for whatever reason. So Canada's the USA's bitch. So, I mean, I'm sure Trudeau's going along with whatever the fuck's happening anyways, without a fucking thought in the world, unless he can make money off it. So, yeah, can't get into FetLife. I can't get into Gmail, despite the fact I write the passwords down every fucking day verbatim. No one's breaking into the house stealing the fucking passwords. They're literally doing it through remote neural manipulation, through your basically brainwave entrainment. They're actually stealing passwords through your fucking thoughts, because they can read your thoughts now. They do it to everybody, so nobody's passwords are safe. And if you think using something like any of those fucking programs that use one password to store all your passwords, you must be a fucking retard, because then they just need one password to hack all your passwords, which is more plausible than not having something like that and having like 30 passwords that they hack. And that's where we get into weird shit, because it's like back in the day I used to have like 40 character random passwords. They didn't like that. They didn't like that. They wanted 8 character passwords that were like scratch 327. That's what they wanted, because they could easily claim they hacked that. Plausible deniability reasons, right? Targeted individuals, federal government. I'm in Canada, Ontario, Dryden, Ontario. I used to be in Sioux, Ontario. That's where it all started, Sioux, Ontario. Federal government. Home base, bitch. Northern Ontario. That's where it is. So just throwing that shit out there. They hack your shit. They break into your fucking house. They steal shit regardless. It's like, When the shit first started, the first time I even recognized that this shit went overt, I had my keys in my hand. I went to get something out of the car, and I realized, shit, I left my keys in my apartment. I can get back in the apartment. And there's nobody else in the apartment, because nobody else really lived there, because it was like complete and utter fucking ridiculousness from the federal government of Canada having this apartment complex and not putting anybody in it. It was like they were losing money. It's like Northern Ontario, right? Retardation. So I had to go fucking get away into the fucking apartments. It took an hour. Came back. Somebody had broken into my apartment, and you can't get into the building unless you have a specialized key. So it would have been a federal government employee. They broke into the fucking apartment of mine. They took my keys out. They went to my rental car. They rolled down all 4 windows halfway exactly. It was like a major snowstorm. It was minus 50 at that point. My car was like inundated with snow when I got back. Just throwing that shit out there. This isn't random. The shit, targeted individual shit, is not random. You can't just break into somebody's car and roll down all the windows halfway unless you steal their keys. My keys were locked in my apartment, and to get into the apartment complex, you need a specialized cut key from the federal government. Well, there's only 3 people that knew I went to the fucking goddamn ER to get the fucking nurse to fucking let me in an hour later. So there's 3 people that are responsible, or possibly responsible. They're actually all responsible for what happens to me. They're all responsible for my targeting. They actually set this shit up in the first place. So this isn't some randomized shit. It's like, I know all 3 of them. There's only 3 of them. I saw one of them. They wouldn't let me in the apartment. The nurse at ER called another person. He wouldn't come and let me in the apartment. But the third person I already know, because he's possibly the one doing this, because he's the one who has the government security clearance to actually bid on these contracts. So it's one of 3, but it's actually all 3, because they're all like canoodling together, because they're all fucking useless and they all back each other up, right? I think they're almost like this weird sex cult too. When you control people's minds, you control what they do, control what they think, control how they act. So it's like this fucking satanic, but not really, sex cult with these fucking nobodies. But they're like, ugh. We're going to name names in videos soon. I don't even give a fuck, because I've told a bunch of people about this shit, and they target all of them after the fact to discredit me. I'll tell the whole fucking world. How are you going to stop the whole world from knowing, bitch? Hey? And there's so many caveats to this shit. It's like, they fucked up in the first 6 months gang stalking me or organized stalking me. They fucked up because they caught them so many times, and that was before they started to fuck with me with remote monitoring manipulation overtly, to the fact that I couldn't really even understand anything, but I know who the fuck they are. So it's like, there's only 3 people that are possibly responsible for this in the first place, and I know all 3 of them, and I'll name all 3 of you regardless. I will do it anyways. I'm gonna do it. You know damn well I'm gonna fucking do it. Kickflip.